Good afternoon, all, and welcome to a good interview from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. I hope this podcast finds you all very well. So, the Premier League season starts this Friday with Liverpool hosting Bournemouth. But for the Arsenal, we start our Premier League campaign with an away trip to Old Trafford. Just briefly, some new Premier League rules that come in this season. 8 second rule, so keepers can't hold the ball for longer than 8 seconds once they've retrieved it or caught it from a cross, corner, etc. So the likes of Nick Pope and Alfonso Areola, when it comes to the Emirates, will no longer be able to waste so much time as they have done in previous years. I hope the referees do actually implement this. I wouldn't be surprised, sound like a bitter Arsenal fan, if David Wright isn't the first person this weekend to be caught out with such a rule. But we're Arsenal conspiracists after all. And the second rule of note is the captain's rule, which I thought had been a rule for quite a few years, but clearly not. Maybe it has been, it's just been reiterated again this year. But only the captains can speak to the referee. Um, that'll be interesting to see this Sunday actually in our game. Usually fiery clashes with Man United. Decisions go either way. And our players and their players often surround the referee. So we'll see if those rules are implemented this weekend. They usually do for the first 2 to 3 weekends, and then it's all forgotten about. And then week by week four, you have the players, the fans, the coaches all surrounding the referee with no kind of action being taken. So we start our campaign at Old Trafford. Not a great ground for us to go to, not a happy stomping ground for us. We often lose or draw there. We rarely get the W at Old Trafford. A fun fact, my first ever Arsenal game was Arsenal versus Man United, 16th of April 2003. We'll never forget the date, at Highbury. The 2-2 game. It's the game where Sol Campbell threw an elbow and Solskjaer dived for the floor. No, it was an elbow. I'll be honest, it was an elbow. They went 1-0 up first half, and Nistelrooy, clever finish, chipping the keeper. We got back into it with 2 goals from Thierry Henry, with one goal taking a massive deflection from an Ashley Cole shot. And I believe they equalised through Ryan Giggs, a back stick header. A fun fact you probably don't even care about, but yeah. Um, we won the league at Old Trafford historically. If you remember, back in 2002, that classic Martin Tyler commentary on Sky, Will Tar, followed by the optical illusion of Cadu jumping over Will Tord, to which we all didn't see that he slid on his knees prior to that happening. But if you look at it once, twice, it looks like he just jumped over his head, which looks like someone with Cadu's height could be capable of doing. It took me a number of years actually to realise that Will Tord had slid on his knees prior to Cadu jumping over him, with a raised fist in the air as well. It would have been a great leap by Canu, but no, it wasn't to be. As I said, it's not a happy hunting ground, Old Trafford. Um, Especially in the Fergie years. I think we won there once. That was well, the league title won in 2006. I think a solitary goal from Emmanuel Adebayor got us the 1-0 win there. And in the league only, it took us another 14 years to actually get another victory at Old Trafford, which is in 2020 during lockdown, which maybe because there was no fans. So it's easy for us to go there and get the W. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a Aubameyang penalty that day. We did win the FA Cup in 2015. I believe Danny Welbeck scored against his former club. And I think another goal from Nacho Monreal got us a 2-1 win in the FA Cup. But in the league, haven't been great in the league. We're unbeaten in our last 2 visits to Old Trafford. Last season we drew 1-1. The season before that we won 1-0. I think it was a Trossard goal from across from Havertz from the byline, cut it back. And last season was the old 11-yard free kick, which was visible to everyone in the ground, watched on TV, but not the referee himself. So it gave Bruno Fernandes more space to get the ball over the wall and down into the net. It was a good free kick. Got to give him that. and we equalised with that textbook Declan Rice finish, which I mentioned in a previous pod, that whip into the far corner that he's seemed to got on lock and scored quite a few times for us. So yeah, we drew 1-1. Um, I mean, both clubs haven't won a league in quite a while. Us being longer than Man United, obviously. Um, so I mean, we're both going through quote unquote banter errors at some point. Man United would say they're in theirs currently. Having finished 15th in the league last year, which is outrageous to even think that would happen at Arsenal. Um, but even so, they're going through terrible times. We never go there and just dominate them like other teams seem to do. You see Bournemouth, Wolves, Fulham all go there and win comprehensively. But it just seems like the Arsenal Man United rivalry, which has gone back many, many years, is still there in place. And when the Arsenal show up, Man United seem to raise their game. Um, it's not even like in recent years. It's not like I would say it's not a hostile place to go to in recent years. I think Man United alongside Liverpool probably would, I mean, their fans would agree. They have a large majority of tourists because they're probably two of the biggest clubs that are supported worldwide. Um, so when you get that, it's really hard to build an atmosphere and make it hostile for visiting teams. So yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a hostile place to go to in recent years. It's just that the players just raise their game because it's the Arsenal. Fans of similar ages to myself will probably have rivalries with friends, um, Man United friends from year back. You just don't forget that rivalry from when we're younger, especially the Fergie and Wenger years. Um, so yeah, going into this game on Sunday, how do I expect us to line up? I think obviously Darragh will be in goal, right back. I think it will be Jurien Timber. Centre backs, Saliba and Gabriel. Big Gabby seemed to be back last friendly, even though he came off. He's still working up to fitness, but I think he'll start this game. Left back. I think I said in the post game review of Atletico Bilbao that Marcelo Skelly will start against United, but I think Mikel Arteta was looking ahead, and we'll get on to Man United, how they might set up. But I think given how they set up, Ricardo Calafiori could suit this game, as opposed to, because he doesn't invert as much as Marcelo Skelly. He kind of roams a little bit more, as opposed to just inverting primarily and picking up the ball and breaking through the lines. The midfield three picks itself, Zubimendi, Odegaard, and Declan Rice. And the front three, I believe, will be Gabriel Martinelli, Kaya Saka, and I would go with Rich Gyokeres. But, we never know what Mikel's thinking. He could keep faith with Havertz, who's been a striker for the last couple of years. And you may not think Gyokeres had enough time to bed in with the team. But personally, we've paid the money. He's a quality player. You pay for quality, get as much quality on the pitch as you can. Havertz is always been on the bench as a plan B, as I call him now, a plan B if it's not going our way. So if we're 1-2 down at half time, Ringer changes. I don't expect it to be that way. But yeah, if it's not going well, Havertz is off the bench, but I'd play Victor Gyokeres, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned how they set up. Obviously, Ruben Amorim, he's a 3-5-2 merchant. He's done it everywhere he's been. When we played them last year, they played a 3-4-2-1 formation. It was like a box midfield. So they had the three at the back, the two wing backs in Dallo and Diallo. And he had Casemiro, Fernandez, Garnacho, and Ericsson in like a box midfield. I mean, they've made new signings. They made some signings that I think are very decent in Cunha, Mbeumo, and Benjamin Sesko. I mean, this is probably going to be dubbed the Sesko versus Gyokeres derby. Right, that's neither here nor there. Obviously, both clubs wanted both players, and we've got one each. We'll see how it goes during the season. So, I mean, Mbeumo, you expect to play off the right wing as he has done previously for Brentford. But with Diallo at right back, he may play further inside and play where Garnacho played last season. If I don't think Real Madrid is stupid enough to play a 3-4-3 formation and have Mbuemo on the right, Cunha on the left, and Sesko down the middle. Because if he did do that, I think we'd outnumber them in the midfield and completely blow them away, to be honest. So I think he'll set up similar in the same way and just replace pieces. So I think uh, Cunha will come in for Ericsson, Sesko will come in for Xerxes, who was up front, and then Buemo will come in for Garnacho. And they'll keep that box midfield, keep it tight, and try and play through us that way. Um, what I was talking about before with Calafiore, where they had the three at the back, I think our best way of attacking them is getting down the sides, which we have been doing, especially in that Bilbao game, we're doing quite well. So where we've got the third man runs coming from, the likes of it will be Declan Rice and hopefully Martin Odegaard making the same similar runs. Um, Calafiore, obviously he likes to roam. He just picks up attacking places out the norm of which we expect a left back to be in. Um, so I think this will help us break down United more easily. Victor Gyokeres, we know what he does. He likes to run in behind. So I think he will occupy the centre. The middle centre back will likely be Matthijs de Ligt. And I think on the right hand side where we have Saka, he will force back Dorgu and drag across Luke Shaw. And I think we will be able to stretch them in that way and pin them back, or which is my hope. I think it's my hope, to be honest. But you just never know how it's going to go. On the other side as well, Martinelli, I expect him to stretch the pitch again. Uh, I said in the previous pod, I think Declan Rice will get up more alongside Martinelli. And because there's no actual inversion from MLS, there'll be times when Calafiori gets out on the wing and overlaps, which will allow more space for Martinelli to come in and do his thing. And also, the stretching of the pitch will allow it will create the spaces for the third man runs for the Rices. It will definitely create space for Gyokeres running behind, and Odegaard on the other side, similarly. So, yeah, I mean, I think a key player in this game, as you would expect, will be Martin Zubimendi. This is his first taste of Premier League experience. He's looked good in pre-season, especially in that last game. Um, if we are able to pin him back and give him space to dictate the game and start picking passes, it actually could be a long day for United, I'm hoping. Um, so, yeah, I mean, my prediction, it's very hard to predict without seeing the team, but on the predicted teams that I've mentioned before, I do think we can go there and get a 2-1 win. So I'm actually hoping to get a 2-1 win, and hopefully Gyokeres is one of the goal scorers in the day. Um, for some reason, I think Declan Rice might get a score sheet. So I'm predicting a 2-1 win with a Gyokeres and Declan Rice goals. Again, yes, it's not an easy place to go to, and we'll see how it goes. Uh, but yeah, let me know in the comments what your predictions are. Um, which hope for the best, that we just have a good Premier League start to the season, and we'll see. I'll be back after, as always, with a post-game review of the game. And until then, all the best.